Greetings fam, if you're looking at this Flydone style electric dirt bike and wondering whether those 2000W, 5000W peak, NFC start, long-range claims are actually real or just marketing hype, you're asking the right question, because this category is one of the most exaggerated in the e-bike world right now. I've researched this specific type of Flydone off-road electric dirt bike thoroughly across specs listings, user reports, and similar models. And I'll break it down honestly so you understand what you're really getting before spending money. These bikes are usually part of a mass-produced platform that gets rebranded under different names, so performance is often similar across brands. Starting with performance, this model typically uses a 2000W to 5000W peak-rated motor depending on configuration. The key word here is peak, not continuous power. In real riding, continuous output is much lower, but you still get strong torque for acceleration and hill climbing. That means it feels fast off the line, especially in lower gears or throttle mode, but it's not a consistent high-speed machine like a motorcycle. Top speed claims vary widely, but most versions in this class usually sit around the 30 to 40 miles per hour real-world range depending on battery setup and rider weight. When you see higher numbers like 50 miles per hour, that's usually ideal conditions or higher voltage variants. In practice, it's still fast enough to feel like a mini electric dirt bike, especially on trails or private land, but not something you should expect to use like a road motorcycle. Battery options like 20Ah to 27Ah are a good sign because that directly affects range. On paper, manufacturers often advertise very high numbers, but real-world riding is different. If you ride aggressively or off-road, expect significantly less range than advertised. If you ride in eco modes or lighter terrain, you'll get closer to claimed numbers. This is normal across almost all budget off-road e-bikes. Comfort and handling are where these bikes try to justify their price. You usually get dual suspension, fat tires, 14 to 19 inches depending on version, and hydraulic-style braking systems. That combination gives decent shock absorption and grip on dirt, gravel, and uneven terrain. It won't match premium e-moto brands, but for recreational trail riding, it feels stable and fun. The NFC start feature is more of a convenience/security gimmick than a performance upgrade. It's basically a keyless ignition system, which is cool for quick startup and basic theft deterrence, but it doesn't change how the bike performs. The app connectivity some versions advertise is also fairly basic, usually just battery and speed readouts. In real-world user feedback on similar Flydone-style bikes, the biggest positives are usually fun factor, affordability, and raw torque. But common concerns include inconsistent build quality, exaggerated specs across listings, and long-term durability questions. Some users also mention needing small upgrades or adjustments after purchase, brakes, wiring checks, suspension tuning, which is common in this price segment. Now, keeping it real, there are clear limitations. First, the 2000W, 5000W range is marketing-based and not a stable continuous output rating. Second, range claims are often optimistic and drop significantly under real riding conditions. Third, quality control can vary depending on seller batch since these are often rebranded factory models. And finally, these bikes may fall into a legal gray area depending on where you live, especially if used on public roads. Overall, after thoroughly researching this Flydone electric dirt bike across the internet, I'd say it's worth it if your goal is fun off-road riding, strong acceleration, and a motorcycle-like experience at a budget price point. It's not a premium-grade electric motorcycle, and it's not meant for daily commuting or highway use, but for trails, dirt riding, and casual adrenaline use, it delivers solid enjoyment if you go in with realistic expectations.